Hey guys, it's me. Before we jump into episode 11, I wanted to introduce a new segment that I'm going to start doing with my Lost reactions. So here's the gist of what we're going to do. Every week at the beginning of an episode, I'm going to feature a comment that was made on the previous episode. So we're going to start that tradition off today with a comment that was left on episode 10. This comment comes from Buddy Stewart 2020. He said, just because of when they decided to introduce us to Ethan doesn't mean that he wasn't around longer than that. There's a lot of background people we haven't met yet. When do you think the best time would be for someone to insert themselves in the group? So that led me to thinking that I kind of had made a lot of maybe false assumptions about how noticeable it would be for someone that people in the group didn't recognize to be hanging around. First off, when I really think about it and think about me in that situation, if I was on the beach with almost 4 dozen people who I hadn't met prior to getting on a plane, I think it would be really difficult for me to be able to recognize maybe more than a dozen of them. Like there could be as many as 2 dozen, maybe even 3 dozen people wandering around who maybe I would kind of know that I had seen them before, but I don't think I would be able to really strongly say, hey, I've never seen that guy. So yeah, Buddy, you definitely made me think about this, especially in the context of once the group breaks up and there are people living on the beach and people living in the caves and people going back and forth all the time, it would be incredibly difficult to keep track of dozens of people who you didn't have any previous relationship with. So maybe in that context, I'm kind of starting to think back and think about the fact that I was probably a little too hard on everyone for allowing this person into the group without having seen him around before. And when I really think about it, it's probably something that I could see myself being guilty of as well. Anyway, thanks for catching that. Thank you for the comment. And like I said, whether people agree with me or not, or whether they happen to have knowledge in certain areas that I don't have, or this or that, I always welcome comments. And if you guys want to see one of your comments possibly getting featured in an upcoming video, all you got to do is start commenting down below, and I'm going to start doing this on every episode of Lost, unless you guys really hate it. If you really hate it, then hit me up in the comments and be like, hey, this is dumb, don't ever do this again. Then it's probably not going to really last. But I just figured it would be a fun way to kind of interact with you guys, maybe give you guys a chance to kind of feel like you're getting a shout out on the channel a little bit. So without further ado, let's jump right into episode 11 of season 1 of Lost. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Lynn. We are back with another reaction to Lost. Today we're going to do season 1, episode 11. Not going to take too much time with the intro here because the last episode ended with a crazy kind of cliffhanger in the last couple seconds, so I just want to jump right into it. I will say that if there was ever going to be an episode so far where I could really use them just pushing the story forward and not doing a bunch of flashbacks during the episode, this would probably be it, because I really would like some resolution on the issue that came up at the end of the last episode. Just my luck though, what they will probably do is they're going to give us an episode that somehow deals with a bunch of other stuff going on and doesn't even touch the craziness of there being somebody in their group that wasn't actually in the plane when it crashed. I know that seems like a kind of a crazy prediction and there's not a lot of chance of that happening, but I'm just saying if it does, I'm going to be really disappointed and probably pretty angry at the end of the episode. Anyway, a lot of chit chat going on. Let's just jump right into it. If you have not subscribed yet, could you do me a favor and click the subscribe button down below, and also click that little notification bell, and then that way you'll get a notice from YouTube every time I post new content, and you won't have to waste your time searching around for it. Let's just jump right into it. Season 1, episode 11. Let's go.
He wasn't on the plane.
Who wasn't on the plane?
Has anyone seen Ethan? Yeah, he went to get some wood. Took off on the path to the beach. Where's Charlie?
He went after Claire.
Everybody's putting it together. Let's get a move on. Let's get on that path. I'm just going to put a pin in it, but John, we're going to have some questions for you later.
She was moving back to the beach.
All right, so they ditched the bag. It's not good.
3 distinct sets all over the place. It looks like there might have been a struggle. Drag marks here. I think they've been taken.
Jack! Claire! Jack!
All right, I will say that if there's somebody that I want hunting for me in the woods, it's definitely John.
Tracks are still fresh.
How could one man drag off 2 people?
You're asking the wrong question, not how. Why?
And where?
Saeed said there were others.
Saeed said that we're not alone.
Semantics.
Which way did they go, Locke?
As a general rule, that way.
BP's falling. She's bleeding out.
No, I've got the artery almost there.
She's in arrest.
All right, we're back with the Jack.
Clear. Clear. Come on back now. Come on. Come on back.
Call it.
You can do this. Come on.
Call it, Jack.
I understand that for the purposes of making a show, you want dramatic lighting and everything, but I feel like I'd want a lot more lighting in my operating room.
You call it.
I'm coming with you.
I figured you might. I could use another hand if you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
Thanks, but we're set. Anyone else just gonna slow us down?
Maybe I'll just put together another part.
Good idea. We're going north. I suggest you go south.
Hold your bluff. All right, so now not that Jack is a one-man search party, but essentially we have 3 search parties. All right, something came through there.
You cut her hepatic artery.
She was in a car crash, Jack. Her insides were a mess.
How many drinks did you have at lunch, Dad?
Jack!
All right, did catch up. Look at that.
Did you find anything?
No.
Jack, this was my fault. What? I hunted with Ethan. I spent time with him. I never sensed anything. But for everything that I know about hunting, tracking, whoever he is, he knows more. Be the doctor. Let me be the hunter.
It's making a lot of sense.
I'm trying to help, and all the guy can tell me is go south?
Mr. Locke's a warrior. He can hunt, he can track stuff, and he's the only one who brought knives. So if it were me, I'd listen to him.
Uh-oh, there's some back talk from the kid.
Back home, I'm known as something of a warrior myself.
I can't wait for the episode when we get Hurley's backstory.
We mark our progress by line of sight. Tie these off so we don't get lost.
Anything?
Not yet.
She can't find the trail.
I'll pick it up again.
Told me someone was after her, that she was being attacked, and she just seemed so out of it. I thought that her pregnancy was amping up her stress, and I didn't believe her. Jack!
Oh, okay, nice.
You think it just came off?
Nah, he left it there.
He's leaving us a trail.
Yeah, as of right now, his knuckles say 8. All right, left another one.
There's another trail here.
What do you mean another?
Means more than one.
If Ethan knows that we're behind him, he could be setting up a dummy trail.
Wait, now you're a tracker?
You're just full of surprises.
So we've got 2 trails.
And 4 people.
Yeah, we've got 2 trails and 2 trackers.
I mean, she had one good idea. I don't know that we're putting her on the same level as Locke all of a sudden.
And who the hell's Ethan?
I don't know.
This kid's hanging out with Sawyer all of a sudden? When did this happen?
It's stupid to lie about your name.
Alrighty, Tattoo. Where do you think Ethan came from?
Maybe he was already on the island. If you don't believe me, ask Saeed. He said we're not alone.
Yeah, me and Saeed don't really get along.
Saeed's back.
What do you do in the real world, Mr. Locke?
It's John.
Well, you're either a taxidermist or a hitman.
I was a regional collection supervisor for a box company.
Box company?
Pretty exciting, huh? But that's not the best of it. I was in a wheelchair.
I think they went this way. I'm not as good at this as Locke is.
Why is he leading when she's the one that should be looking for the signs?
I'm trying to help, Jack.
You know what might help? A little honesty. Just give me something real. Anything.
All right, you're being a real dick.
My dad was in the army. We go hiking together. One day we spent 8 hours tracking deer. Anything you want to share, Jack?
What's it say?
The truth. The patient was brought to the ER following a car accident. The patient succumbed to her injuries.
You had no business being in OR. I won't sign this.
You were the surgeon of record when she died.
Anyone who's watching this that works in hospitals or any kind of situation like that, can you let me know if I'm right when I'm thinking that there have to be rules in place to prevent situations like this? Like the idea that you would have someone who's responsible for making life or death decisions supervising their child, who is also responsible for making life or death decisions. There have to be ethical rules about that, because there's the potential for running into this exact sort of scenario where Jack's father, who is also his supervisor, now has like double the amount of control in this power dynamic that they have. Like, it's almost impossible for Jack to be able to stand up to him in any kind of meaningful way when you're contradicting not only your parent, but also your supervisor who holds your job in their hands. Like, through true crime podcasts that I listen to, I know that there are companies who are far less critical in the grand scheme of things than surgeons. Literally, like companies that make eyeglasses, and their HR departments completely forbid anyone supervising someone who is a family member, especially if that family member is like a child of theirs, because it adds to the power dynamic and it puts them in like an impossible situation where they don't feel like they can go against their parent who is also their boss. Anyway, if any of you work in a hospital or any type of situation like that, and you know the answer to whether I am right or whether I am just completely making that up, let me know in the comments. Let's get back in.
They'll strip me of my license.
Yes. They will.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that amount of pressure to go against him would be crazy. There's that pressure. Yeah, who's creeping up on Said here? Probably going to be Sawyer.
Well. If it wasn't your intention to return, then why did you?
I was taken prisoner by the French woman.
Crap.
You blacks can't get in.
Yeah, I know my bloods can't get in. Do would you please roll?
Yes!
No!
It's okay. I wasn't very good when I first started playing either.
I took 17th in a tournament once.
You were in a backgammon tournament? That's pretty crazy.
Yes!
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
I'm lucky.
No one is that lucky.
You owe me $20,000!
You'll get it.
You're gonna regret that if you ever get off this island.
So, Boone, what do you do in the real world?
I run a business.
What kind of business?
My mother has this empire, Martha Stewart of Matrimony. I run one of the subsidiaries.
It's gonna start raining in 1 minute.
1 minute.
You ever take a few seconds? You should turn around, Boone, and head back.
They teach you how to predict the weather in a box company?
Now, I've just been wandering around in the jungle for like 3 or 4 weeks, kind of get used to the signs.
Guess we were right.
Oh, what is going on?
Did you hear her?
Just so you know, you're following a guy who has already run off once into the jungle looking for a hallucination. Oh, shit. Oh, good job, Doctor. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
If you do not stop following me, I will kill one of them.
Ooh,
Do
ooh.
you understand?
Uh-oh. All right. So who is Ethan?
No more warnings.
Where's Kate? Did she not see any of that?
That man that my father's talking to. Who is that?
That's her husband. He's threatening to sue.
Are you okay?
How long was I out?
Ethan was
You
here.
banged your head, Jeff.
No, he was here.
You have to stop.
Not letting him do this. Not again. At which point the patient went into cardiac arrest. By the time I was called in, the damage was irreversible.
Just one final detail. You were aware of the patient's pregnancy when you went into the procedure. Okay, then. I think we're done here.
I need to revise my statement.
No one told Jack about the pregnancy.
I was warned by one of the nurses that my father was operating under the influence.
So he blames himself for his father's death because this is probably why his father left, why his father had gone to Australia. Oh, are you hung? Dude, no way is Charlie actually dead. I mean, we're 11 episodes in. It's not impossible that they would do away with a regular character. Wow. Kate is fucking pulling off a pretty athletic climb there. Yeah, you're not going to reach that.
I can't reach!
All right, he's down. Does he have a pulse?
He's not breathing. Come on, breathe. Breathe, Charlie. Come on. Breathe.
Oh, are we actually losing Charlie here?
Come on, Charlie. Come on.
Jack! Come on. Jack!
Wow. Okay. Ugh, that's a bummer. How did that guy get him up into the tree? I guess it doesn't matter much now.
No.
Jack! Jack!
Come on.
Stop!
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's a little hard. You just broke every rib in my fucking chest. You had me. I mean, it's completely conceivable that roughly halfway through the first season, like, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that we're going to lose somebody. All right, they made it back to the caves. Where the hell did they take Claire?
We're gonna go back out and look for Claire the moment the sun comes up. And I could really use your help. I didn't see anything, hear anything. I don't remember anything. All they wanted was Claire.
I'm sure they just made camp for the night. If there's anyone on this island that your brother's safe with, it's Locke.
I'd agree with that.
Are we lost? I don't see how you can still be following this trail.
I'm not.
I think we should go back, man. Suit yourself. Boom. You need this more than I do.
Oh, whoa, what do we got? What do we got? Something metal. Big metal object on the ground.
What is that?
What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
Steel. That be part of the plane? Part of the wreckage? What is that? That's what we're gonna find out.
If you end right now, I'm gonna be so pissed. Don't you? Oh, you son of a bitch. Is this what they're going to do to me every episode from now on? This is just, we're going to watch the entire episode and then the last 30 seconds, something crazy is going to start to happen. And then, wait till next time. Oh, I'm not okay with that. Okay. All right. Where are we? So Claire and Charlie got taken. According to Charlie, it seems as if there were multiple people. He says he doesn't remember anything, but then he remembers that there were multiple people. So, take that for what it's worth. And then it doesn't seem like they were interested in having him as a hostage at all. They just wanted the pregnant girl. What is this giant hunk of steel doing out in the middle of the jungle there? I was planning on watching a movie after this, but now I kind of am leaning towards just starting the next episode. That might be what I do. I might just jump into episode 12, but then that's going to just end with another cliffhanger. I'm going to be right back in this position again. All right. So before I leave, I will say that one conversation that I think is probably going to have more impact on me whenever I get through with the entire series and I go back at some point and rewatch everything. The conversation that Jack has with his mother where she tells him that he has to go get his father. I think on a second watch through, through, I'm going to be looking for parts of the conversation that indicate that she sees it as Jack's fault, that his dad lost his job and then has basically left and is in Australia and no one can get a hold of him. Like, she blames Jack because it was him that got his father fired. I think on a second watch through, I'm going to be looking for phrases in that conversation that would indicate that. I'm kind of just, now that I'm getting to the middle of the season, things are starting to get crazy, and it's hard at the end of the episode to come up with the words to kind of express how crazy everything is. And I feel like there's things during the episode that I want to talk about, and they're just kind of in the back of my mind. They're not fully formed enough for me to be saying while I'm watching the episode. And then by the time I get to the end, other crazy things have happened, and I just kind of have forgotten about that. But Charlie seeming to confirm that there are multiple other people on the island, and that lining up with Saeed saying that he was told that there were multiple people on the island, and Charlie couldn't have been influenced by that because Charlie and Claire were already out of the picture by the time Saeed stumbled back into camp. So those are two independent people basically saying the same thing, which leads me to believe that it's probably true. I just don't know where these people are if we haven't come across them yet. Although nobody has mapped the island, nobody has seen everything that's on the island. So like I probably mentioned in episode 2 or 3 that, in this scenario, it's totally possible that there's some group of people on the opposite side of the island that if you never navigated your way all the way around it, you would never even know about. Anyway, we're getting to the point in the outro where I am just sort of rambling, so I'm going to end this one and get to editing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.